Hello everyone and welcome to today's GP Strategies on Demand webinar. Today's webinar is part of our Learning Trends for 2018 and Beyond series, and today we'll be talking about external training as a competitive differentiator. I'd now like to introduce you to today's presenter, Paul Pearce. Paul is the Managing Director of Business Development at GP Strategies Corporation. He has over 18 years of talent management subject matter expertise, serving in leadership positions, leading technical sales, alliances, and business development focused on creating technical solutions targeted to solve real-world business challenges. Working with many of the world's largest companies, Paul provides in-depth best practices expertise to complex talent management deployments. It is my pleasure to have him present today, so Paul, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Oh, thanks, Kayla. I appreciate it. Wow, 18 years. It's been a long time, hasn't it? And I've actually been at GP Strategies for over 7. So I've actually seen a lot of shifts in technology and platform utilization, and today I'm very excited to speak about some of the latest trends that I've seen with my clients and how they're using external training as a differentiator. Now, most clients look to train folks outside of the company. We call it extended enterprise, and we may hear that word a few times today. But as we go through, not only we talk about the extended enterprise, I'm going to share a few case studies, but I want to highlight a new solution as well that's taking external training to new levels of marketing intelligence and support. So specifically, let's talk about a couple things: the extended enterprise, the value and challenges of external training. Can't wait to share some specific stories about a hospital, a filter manufacturer, and then a medical equipment organization. And then we're going to focus our attention to this new market solution that addresses how extended learning can help within your organization and as an competitive differentiator with world-class capabilities. So first, let's start with kind of what is an extended enterprise LMS. So we're back to the basics really quick. I hope everyone knows that an LMS really is just a learning management system software that's used to automate and structure training. And a lot of organizations have those internal to the organization, but when we look at it from an extended perspective, we classify extended training as any training that is provided to learners outside of your existing organization. It can be targeted to dealers, suppliers, partners, channels. We see it within franchisees, and sometimes even to your customers. And there's really about 2 or 3 areas that we see the most dramatic impact when we look at the extended enterprise. The first is around increased revenue. And I really think of this from looking at direct, indirect, or some type of loyalty-based revenue that organizations see. So learning can boost revenue in a number of ways, as we've seen. One might be the increased revenue by boosting credibility in sales. Your e-learning courses can generate revenue directly if you offer paid courses to your clients or constituents. The second area that we see often is reduced or lower costs. So a lot of times extended enterprise training can help minimize costs to the businesses by reducing knowledge gaps, confusion, misinformation among partners and customers, all of which can lead to support queries that you need to manage, right? But the third area that we see is affecting change. And I think this is really important as well, whether that's organizational change and alignment, process-driven change, which could be through your sales channel and educating folks, or it could be just perceptions of a company and a particular product. But more cases than not, I see it kind of focused around that driving loyalty to organizations. So it's fun. There's actually some cool research. So some of the research even shows that it goes beyond. And as we look here and I ask the question, what's the big deal about external training? We can see that according to a study from Extended Enterprise Systems in the Aberdeen Group, organizations that focus their learning efforts exclusively inside a company saw a 5% year-over-year increase in revenue per full-time equivalent. And so that's just looking internally. But when we take that and we expand it either to one more channel, which could be a customer or a partner, it's different. We see that those that had some sort of learning programs for those 2 groups saw a 40% greater increase in revenue per full-time equivalency, and that's at almost 7% year-over-year growth. That's phenomenal. But when we take it even one step further, right? And instead of that or between customers and partners, and we add the and, we see something even more significant, that organizations with formal learning programs for both customers and partners saw nearly the double revenue growth at 9% year over year. Organizations extending learning to both customers and partners saw double the increase in revenue per FTE. All right. Well, what I'd love to do is tell you about a story as well. And what I consider this is training as a differentiator. And I want to focus on this equipment manufacturer and medical consumables producer that markets products to over 120 countries around the world. They really have an opportunity to create better, safer, and faster medical education. And the opportunity to this organization is to be a global market leader in medical e-learning and empowering medical professionals via online education through a seamless, intuitive, and effortless interface. So there's some stuff that they wanted, right? They want their learners to be able to select from a library of related courses to build a custom curriculum. They wanted to mix and match all types of medium delivery components or platforms, whether it's hands-on training, live webinars, or on-demand courses right through the interface of their system. They want to have progress through a custom curriculum and allow their constituents to do it at their own pace, kind of just-in-time learning, but sometimes in an interrupt-driven lifestyle, be able to do that at home through their mobile device and other facets. They want to keep track of their progress, of the personal profile, and the interaction that their clients have with the company, and then make this highly accessible, very searchable through course topics, and making it available outside of just their existing learning management system. But more importantly, since this is medical, there's continuing education credits and things that need to be done in a timely fashion. So they were looking for timely auto reminders by email and text message. When they looked at it, they said there's significant value to this organization. They wanted to complete a 360-degree view of their customer that goes beyond learning into purchasing, training, and web activities. So they really have more of a intimate relationship, I guess if you can call it intimate, right? Electronic intimacy as a new word, I just made that up. But for their particular clients and really getting that full view. They wanted to really unify their brand identity. And while they have information in a lot of different places, they wanted to pull it all together with a kind of a common unification. And then they wanted to generate awareness, drive adoption, and cement loyalty to the customer's products and services. And more importantly, have a deeper customer loyalty to the brand. And then more, I guess on top of that, adding broader skills to the practice around the equipment that they manufacture. So they really looked at this training as a true differentiator and a game changer for them in going well beyond what they've done in the past, which is training on their products, to being the expert, if you will, and the one-stop shop for individuals within this industry to come. Well, there's some other things that we might see as well, more companies. And actually I have a question. What do the following three companies have in common? Well, we talked about the medical equipment company. But what about the world's largest manufacturer of air filtration solutions? And another one, that's a children's hospital. Well, we talked about the medical equipment company, but the filter company really looked at external training in the extended enterprise in a different facet. They wanted to increase the knowledge of the resellers. So by doing so, they wanted actually, and are building, an integration between their learning management system, their CRM or customer relationship management, which happened to be Salesforce.com, and other training aspects so that they could drive knowledge and intelligence through training based upon the opportunities they are seeing. You know, I kind of think the vision is genius because based upon the certification of these resellers and partners, based upon the opportunities they're actually chasing, they now have the ability to see very dynamic courseware that's applicable to the sales opportunity. And we also see that when organizations are utilizing training and knowledge right up front, and that's what resellers are trained on, they have a higher propensity to actually recommend solutions that they trust and that they know a lot about. So this was phenomenal. The third is a hospital, it's a children's hospital, and they have this goal of making education content available to the world, and by doing so, improving the lives of many individuals. But they want to leverage that user experience that they had internally to create an externally facing system. So this organization wants the flexibility to have users register, enter the courseware regardless of how it's provided, and then pay for the training based upon the relationship with the company. Now with that relationship, they may offer discounts or potentially create large organizational discounts and or provide free access. So they have a mission to spread medical knowledge in an effort to improve the lives of others. But when organizations do this, we find sometimes there's some common challenges, right? So traditionally, we find that learning solution vendors are really challenged and unable to devote the resources required to build best-in-class commerce capabilities. Sometimes they have great internal training. Sometimes they need to extend that. But when you look at the best-in-class e-commerce capabilities, they don't find that either their traditional learning solutions provide it or that they've got the bandwidth to do it internally. And then second, organizations have had to build their own complex solutions throughout the years. A lot of different systems, an inconsistent user experience, and then sometimes that results in multiple learning management systems or very complex integrations. It's not uncommon that GP Strategies gets called to integrate numerous learning management systems because of departmental solutions or ones that have been focused on extended enterprise or extended training. Currently working on one for a large energy company consolidating 18 learning management systems into one. But the other challenge is 31% of enterprise learning buyers point to integration as a big challenge, right? What we're finding is customers want best-in-class e-commerce. That might include things like you would be familiar with on, let's say, Amazon, ratings, feedback, proactive recommendations, intelligence built into discounting, fraud protection, or what we're starting to see more and more is taxing capabilities either on a state or a global basis. Well, fortunately, got something cool to share. I've actually seen over the last 6 to 9 months kind of an uptick in a solution that we've seen with our clients, their interest in something called the SAP Learning Marketplace. Now, Learning Marketplace helps attract customers, enable partners to ecosystems, improve marketing brand awareness, and offers new revenue channels into businesses. So this screen that I'm showing right now just really illustrates a sample company that sells photography training, lighting, video creation, and live production. This is a particular really cool sample, but there's a unique and distinct way in which the organization I've worked with have used Marketplace. So let's talk about how Marketplace solves some of the problems that we hear about most often. The first use case in the business network, like the dealer or franchise network, partners, resellers, and vendors, has to do with ensuring quality and process consistency. Some training is as simple as what tool to use on what widget, for example, but a big part of it is ensuring that your end user customers have the experience you want them to have through your franchise or your dealership. The dealers are responsible for your reputation to your customer as well, right? So they can damage the brand if they have people who are not competent or don't have the knowledge necessary to promote your products effectively. So the partner model is often the brand preservation. Now, the second use case is around engaging communities. This can be an association of groups of people who join into a community, kind of like that medical practice. Or providing courses can be a benefit to being a part of the community and sharing information. But oftentimes in those types of networks, an originator might want to sell those courses. And then overall, there's great benefit into brand and identity reinforcement. For every interaction someone has with an organization, there's an experience, right? The actual product is one thing, but how you engage with the brands, what the value is to you, is really a huge part of it. So what's the difference in the SAP SuccessFactors Learning? There's 3 areas here. The first is learning, the second is the commerce engine, and the third is the customer experience engine. So most folks are familiar with the learning management system, and in the first column we'll see things like core course management, schedule management, and essentially course consumption tracking, be able to get the transcript information or the compliance information that you need. This is common in most organizations. The second, though, I think is where we really see the power, and that's through the commerce engine. Now, the commerce engine in SAP Marketplace is driven by SAP Hybris. So those who don't know about all of SAP's solutions, supporting the state-of-the-art e-commerce for B2B or B2C, pardon me, it's a platform that supports over 800 customers who have around 15 million products online. So think of it as like the true e-commerce engine that supports organizations like Goodyear, Bridgestone, Lafayette shopping malls. All these sites are powered by SAP Hybris. It's the platform for Learning Marketplace, and it's a pretty powerful solution that's really tried and tested. And so this allows for some intelligence in your e-commerce. Things like support for multiple credit cards and credit card processors, integration into global tax engines, as well as support for fraud detection. And then on the other side is the customer experience engine. So you've got the LMS that's tracking the training, the commerce engine that's taking care of the financial aspects of it and the security, and then the customer experience engine allows us to look at things like web content management, search engine optimization, which is built in automatically, right? And then public and private pages that are available. But more importantly, a highly configurable user registration process and marketing promotion and recommendations. So complete intelligence. Now, one of the things I love about it, and I hear from a majority of my clients, is I need to be able to support any platform. I don't want to necessarily have an app, right? But whether it's an iPad, an iPhone, or just your Mac, it provides all this in a native response format so that it works across cross-platform deployments. So let me show you a little bit more. Here's a quick illustration. So as I mentioned, SAP Learning Marketplace helps attract customers, enable partners to the ecosystem, and improve marketing brand awareness, and offer new revenue channels in the business. Let's talk about that. So when it comes to selling training, one of the hardest parts in enabling users to find the course and materials that they're looking for, in fact, that's the challenge, but in fact, some market research shows that a large percentage of users start in a search engine. They don't know where to look. So they go out and hit Google or some other engine, and they're looking for products that they're trying to buy. Unfortunately, they don't always necessarily originate on the actual product website or your website, right? In fact, some market research shows that the largest percentage start in the search engine, and when they're looking for products they're looking to buy, they're not in the right location. So the Learning Marketplace allows for pages that are search engine optimized by default. But there's more. There's actually a complete web content management engine. It's built into the management portal configuration layout, and it allows basically this editing environment without a whole lot of technical competence or without coding. The nice thing about it, from a training perspective, the output is beautifully designed pages, unique to each customer and optimized for that responsive design for cross-platform deployments. From the main page, users are able to see featured course recommendations, what's new, other courses and information that has been highlighted. For example, here on this particular screen, showing how you could get 50% off a course upon registration. If we dig in a little bit further, we may actually see here other featured courses that allow us to present the course that you have any way that you would like. We're a very dynamic interface, but supported by all types of business rules that aligns nicely with virtually an unlimited number of pricing rules. So you can entice users into offers that they may not have seen otherwise or that they may have missed. So users can view the flexible course catalog and see a variety of learning-related functions, such as courses that are offered near me. shopping by type of courses available, delivery method, dates that are important to my schedule. But once I've found the course that I'm looking for, I can add it to the course or to my cart, if you will, and then start to look at some other offerings, right? So once a person is ready to check out, let me see a promotion that is displayed, much like we do here on the right-hand side. We can see that there's an order summary, but by going online, they could actually receive a 50% discount on this particular camera course on DSLR camera techniques. So that's a lot of fun. Of course, we'd enter our payment details and move on, and behind the scenes, all types of work. Transactions are automatically calculating tax and could even leverage built-in support if you're an international or global company for VAT to simply enable cross-selling across multiple tax jurisdictions. Fraud detection system for safeguarding customer data is analyzing the information that the transaction is managed and ensuring that it's as safe as possible, and the data passes through to your financial system. And that's kind of a unique feature behind the scenes that I got excited about. I've never seen that at another marketable solution today, and think that adds a lot, especially from the fraud detection perspective. So once we're paid for the order, we're ready to start preparing for the instructor-led training, and we can launch our online content right from that particular page. Well, folks, I wanted to share some of this information with you that we've seen today. First, I wanted to thank you for allowing me to share insights into a few of the clients I'm working with and some advanced technology we have found that allow clients to take their extended enterprise to the next level of intelligent marketing. Secure processing and marketing that's supported with best-in-class e-commerce capabilities. With the right support, experience, and technology, you may be able to find that you can use your external training as a competitive differentiator, much like the clients I discussed earlier today. Well, thank you, folks. I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. If you have any questions or would like to contact me directly, you can do so with the information on the screen, or just email ppierce@gpstrategies.com. Thanks again, folks. Kayla, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Paul, for that great presentation. I know, as you mentioned, he covered a lot in the last 20 minutes or so, and we'd like to encourage you to continue the conversation with him. So as you mentioned, his contact info is on this page. I'd also like to encourage you to join us for more on-demand sessions or future webinars by registering at gpstrategies.com under the page Webinar Recordings. Thank you, and I wish everyone a wonderful and productive rest of your day.